from Mab's bed to your head, here with Michael Lynch of I Hate Your Deck. Hi, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
It's
Thanks for
going?
having me on your show.
Yeah. I hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, I can't complain. Got to spend a little bit of time with my son, so excited.
Excellent. Uh, so, the first interview question is, what about Commander brings you joy?
I love the social aspect of Commander. From the very beginning, when I got back into Magic, I had someone say to me, I think you'd really be into Commander, like because I was playing a lot of 60 card multiplayer games. So I was really into the multi.
One
Can
more
you hear
time.
me?
I can hear you again. It's
Sorry, Joe, my co-host, tried to call me, and I think by a phone call coming in, it like disabled the audio here. So
gotcha.
what I was saying, I love the social aspect of Commander. I think it's a very primal thing to have a connection with other human beings, and I love that paper Commander. When there is like 4 or 5 or 6 people playing, um, it's not just about me versus you and I need to win, and it becomes more about like, hey, we're having fun, we're occupying space together, um, and we're able to really enjoy this social gathering. So I love that part of Magic. I mean, I feel like that's a big reason why I Commander's my main format is for the social aspect of it. You know, if I want to play 1v1, I can stay home and just play with my wife. But me and my wife love playing with our friends and playing with So I don't know. There's just something about that, and I guess I'll tie into another question later on. But I just feel there's a lot of just positivity that can come out to, like, as cheesy as it is. But when I like I don't know if other people had parents that liked having um you know around the table for dinner instead of watching TV. So in my home, there's been definitely times when we've had roommates before my kid was here, and by playing Magic brought the whole house together in a positive thing when two roommates weren't getting along. But Magic brought them together, and I think by bringing us all around the table versus being in our separate rooms, being more connected than being apart. So I love how much it can bring people together, and I love, yeah, how social. I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's like how to make sure the proper expression is put out there.
You're emphasizing a very important point that I think you want to make sure people know. It's the social bit that really pulls you in.
Absolutely. If I want to be antisocial, I can just play arena. I can just be like on arena.
Yep, you can pretend you're playing with a computer in that case. It's
Yeah, and you're just hitting buttons and whatever. But yeah, it's like you can't get that in person
you can't
connection playing arena.
you can't tell someone, no, that person over there's the threat. We need to deal with that.
Yeah, and having all that fun with the politics,
Yeah.
because there's certain games you can't do, like politics are not allowed. It's like no table talks allowed, and I kind of think that's fun about Magic is like table talks allowed, man. You're allowed to preach your case all up and down. I think, was it you who were talking about you're not doing your job if you're not protecting your stacks pieces?
If you're playing stacks and you can't verbally protect your stacks pieces, then you're not playing stacks right.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant because it's like that goes into the social aspect of the game. Then, like, no, no, no. Here's why you don't want to kill this yet. And I've totally had to do that. I've totally been like, do not. I think it was in episode 7 of I Hate Your Deck where I'm like, do not get rid of my Notion Thief. We don't want Joe to draw.
Exactly.
I'm like, if you're gonna kill him on my end step, not on his turn, so he can draw from the Monarch. I had to really like sell her on that because she was about to kill my Notions Thief.
It's hard not to kill it when it's available.
Yeah.
But using your words, you can really convince people the right thing to do.
Like, this is helping us both right now. I know you don't. I know you feel pain.
But just wait.
Wait, it's helping us both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, I binge watched a bunch of I Hate Your Deck just to prepare for this interview.
Oh, nice.
um, so I guess moving on to question number 2, what positive impacts has the game had on your life?
Oh man. Um, my wife always wanted me to get into gaming, and I already played video games, but I was always trying to like limit that due to how much work I had to do for just life. And when I found Magic through a coworker traveling the world on an 8-hour flight, and just like we played the whole flight, and they're telling us to put our tray tables up, and we're like, no, we want one more game. And I was like, oh man, I'm hooked. I'm hooked deeply. And then we got off the plane and bought a bunch of like pre-con decks and had a bunch of people on the crew buy pre-con decks, so everyone was playing on the crew, and it was really special. And um, I've definitely made some lifelong friends. Like, I met my co-host of I Hate Your Deck, Joe Johnson Jr. At the LGS. So I got to meet a lot of great people that are I feel like are my friends. And during COVID, I was running an I Hate Your Deck stream before I had created the show. And I was typically having like 5 to 15 people a day playing, and we did this for like 70 days in a row.
Wow.
Where it was like every day we were jamming games, and it was before Spell Table, so it was Google Hangout. So it was a little more ghetto, and like we definitely had to practice reading everything out loud because not everyone had a board camera.
Oh
But we
wow.
jammed games, man. We got games in. So I really love the community. Um, that since becoming part of the Commander community and having Commander in my life, I love the friends that I've met, and I love being a part of this community. And since Joe and I decided to, hey, we've been talking shit forever about doing a show, but weren't making it. And I think part of me was waiting too long to have everything perfect. And like the first 4 episodes, for example, we didn't have a 4K camera. We had Joe's iPhone for the overhead camera, and now we use a 4K camera for the overhead. So for certain episodes, like episodes 8 and bonus 1 are from that original shoot, so they also are back to the iPhone. But like 5, 6, 7, and like future episodes all have the new rig.
Nice.
Because we end up editing a bunch of episodes, and then you kind of like cherry pick, like, oh well, this one should go first. So we didn't want everyone to think our show was a pub stomping show. So like, that's not our show. It's not just pub stomping. So let's put some other episodes up front, because the bonus episode, the Duretti episode, really,
That one was brutal.
was brutal. And Gray's an amazing deck builder, but he had that turn 0 misplay with Gemstone Caverns, which I hate. I hate that happened to him, because I feel like he got crucified in our comments. Because it's like, in real life, he's an incredible deck builder, and he's an incredible player. Like, every deck he builds, like he even has this one deck. It's a mono black. It can only be white bordered cards and old bordered. So
Nice.
it's like he'll put like just strange restrictions, and it'll still be just broken as fuck. Um, so yeah, getting to your question again, I guess it ties back into the social aspect of making friends, becoming part of a community, even when the world was shut down, finding a lot of, I mean, my wife's water broke while we were playing Magic, and my friend casted a spell. We were playing the precons from Akora, because I think they had just come out. So he played the Jirid, the populate.
Mm-hmm.
So he was populating, and then we actually populated.
Oof.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love that, it's been such a family, experience.
Yeah,
Because I think it can be hard to make friends when you're older and adult, and you can have certain people and certain coworkers, but um, it's nice to make some new friends where you can feel really connected and a deep bond.
I'm inclined to heavily agree with you. I've met a whole bunch of people over the past several months. The pandemic's really opened the world as far as EDH goes.
Yeah,
So it's cool that that social aspect's getting in for you.
yeah. I keep getting to check that box.
It's I think it's the most important part about the entire game. So checking that box over and over again is big.
We're playing a game, regardless of how serious we want to take it. It should be fun,
For sure.
And I came from a sports background. I play hockey, and when you win or lose, you shake hands at the end. And uh, you know, uh, another comparison I'd say with hockey is like when you're playing hockey and you're at a pickup game. You want to have five people on the other team and a goalie, and five people on your team and a goalie. And if there's certain people that are light, or because the only day you can play is like a Tuesday at noon, if there's someone new, you're really excited to help teach them so that one day you can play with them where the gloves are off and you get to go full power. But that's another thing that I think is also beautiful about the Commander community is like I remember first coming into Commander and playing spells wrong and having people say, "Oh no, you don't want to do that. This is how you want to play this card." Or no, 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 you need to overload that. Like you have the mana to do that, and not knowing that the overload is just the overload cost, not the. So there's so much that again goes into how the community can build itself up and be so positive, um, and welcoming to new people, and kind of the opposite of what some people sometimes encounter, which is the gatekeeping side where they're trying to tear you down or whatever. So like I feel like that's a big thing with I Hate Your Deck that we're trying to do is we're truly trying to push the positive mentality with Magic, and we're really trying to push the like it's okay to lose and really enjoy watching someone else win in a glorious fashion, because no matter what, someone's going to win on our show, and hopefully you get to enjoy seeing how that deck does its thing. And if you really get annoyed by it, well, hopefully now you've seen how to stop that deck. You've
Exactly.
seen pieces it needs, you know.
That's beautiful,
So
and that's really the big answer to my question number three, which was, in what ways have you seen or experienced the community being a positive influence? And you talking about people picking each other up and teaching them how to be better and do better, and just growing the community. That's a real good example of that. But if you have any more, I'd be happy to hear.
yeah, I mean, I think that's something I think that that's the big reason why we have the take backsies counter in our show is to show people that winning isn't everything. We do make mistakes. We're being social. We're talking shit. You just made it, like there was a I think it was in episode 3, there was a big take backsies counter where, Evan was board wiping everything but dragons, which he thought was smart, but he didn't realize Sir Conrad was going to trigger with the 40 zombies on board. So he ended up doing a big take backsies counter. And it's like, well, in arena, there's no take backsies counter. The computer has said you've made a decision. There's so many times in arena where like I'll forget to like I'm getting confused and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to target fight the other creature. Now it's fought nothing, and I could have killed it, and I made a mistake. It's done. Um, but I think with Commander, because it is, originally was built on this premise of four people having a social contract and having fun. The take backsies counter allows us to, oh, dude, you made a mistake. We're all bros here, or or sisters, or brotherhood of everything. You know, um, take it back and let's keep having fun. I'm not relishing in your every mistake. because I just want to win. So I think that there's, and some people have, most people I think have said they've added the take backsies counter to their play group, and there's a couple people said I hate the take backsies counter, and I hate that you guys allow this to happen. But I feel like that's part of the spirit of the commander. Same thing, like I said, when I was new, when people were teaching me, and there's a lot of time I feel like whether it's been on our show or on our streams, where we really want to help teach other people. Um, because no, it's no fun to like same thing in hockey. Like if you're like a 6'5", 300-pound person, you don't want to smash some, kid that's like 2 foot tall, you know, 30 pounds. It's like, how good do you feel? Like,
Yeah,
teach that person how to get better, so one day you can have fun, playing with them.
I think your system of 3 take back counters is a really good balance between we're playing and if you make a mistake you can just take it back and everything's cutthroat. You make a decision, it's done. You make 3 and you make another one and you're out.
Yeah, no, if you get the third one, you're done.
Yeah, so
So it's
it's
like you really only get 2 takes backs. The third one's a gotcha moment, like, oh man, I really want to take that back. You don't have any more take back these counters.
yeah.
You can't take it back anymore. So it does limit it. So you're not with someone who's constantly taking back. But it does allow for like those big like moments, which have definitely happened on our show. And I feel like a lot of them have happened when it could have benefited me. And I'm always like, oh man, that would have been so cool right now. Ah,
Sometimes I won't take back things if it's going to be really cool for somebody.
dude,
Sometimes it's
yeah.
worth making the mistake just to see the smiles.
And our we have a bonus episode too that's out for our fans right now, and it doesn't really ruin anything. But someone was going to wheel, and they forgot a head tear grid out, and I was like so happy. And of course, they took it back and didn't wheel. But like they had wheeled, it had resolved. I had made sure to resolve. Like that resolved. No one's doing anything. Hey, no one's doing anything. Yes. And then it was like, wait, what? And I'm like, I get it all. And they're like, no, you don't. Take backsies. And I understand. Like I get it. You probably
Yeah.
wouldn't. You know, she was a new commander, so But again. Like it ends up being a fun moment too in the show because then you see us be like, ah.
And even that, you still get to see all of the fun reactions.
Yeah, exactly. You get to see people really having fun, and then I think Doug ends up being like, "I'm bad at magic, y'all," like, making the joke because he just saw how excited Joe was to keep his hand. He's like, "Yo, we need to do something about that." He got a little, he was reading a threat, but he forgot another threat. Happens.
Yeah. Question number 4. What positive members of the community would you like to give a shout out to today?
So, the Skyplander Highlander guys.
Elder Dragon Skyplander?
Let me say it again. You can cut that, right?
Oh,
Elder
I
Dragons.
don't edit these.
Yeah, and Casual Jake.
Mm.
Those guys have been great. Joe and I have really been impressed when we play on their stream. Um, we play on a lot of streams, but they have the like Elder Dragon, Skyline, Skyblender, Skyblender, Skyblender. Like they have like all the little buttons to hit the sound effects, and it definitely makes for a theatrical, fun experience to play on their stream. So it's the Elder Dragon guys, and I know Jake is an Elder Dragon, but he also has his own casual Jake that he does. Super awesome energy, and Mana Curves. She's fantastic. Joe and I have played at her show a ton, and it's always been a lot of fun. And I think that goes back to again when you're talking about like there's certain times you play in with certain people, and it's very just focused on the game and just winning, winning, winning. And then there's other times you're playing with people, and it's just you're all doing stupid stupid stuff, and it's fun. Like I am the kind of guy who might throw a mana flare out there, and now we all got a lot of mana. Now lots of things are happening a lot faster than you thought. I may or may not win, but I'm gonna see some fun stuff happening.
Love it.
Um, so yeah, I would say those three are really awesome, and people should definitely check them out. Chase has a really fun stream on mana curves, and the Elder Dragon Skyblender guys they've got a really cool production going on, and some really cool, honest, like down to earth people.
For sure.
Oh, same with mana curve, down to earth too. I think the only people we'd shout out are like down to earth, awesome social people.
Big love for them.
Yeah.
And uh, last but certainly not least, would you tell everybody about your role in Commander and where they can find your content?
So, I am Michael Lynch. I am the co-host and co-creator of I Hate Your Deck. I Hate Your Deck is a Commander show that focuses on kind of creating what it's like to play at your local gaming store or your LGS. And at your gaming store, you're not getting to see people's deck lists ahead of time. You're not always, some people don't flip up their commander until right before you play. So it really is a crackpot, about what the pod levels or, the strengths will be. And our show is kind of creating that. We're just having four people play Magic, and it's focused on fun. We're always hoping a deck pops off, so you get to see something crazy. But number one, the show is about having fun and enjoying seeing whoever may win. And I think that was a big, part of it. And we're also trying to increase, representation on our show. We're trying to really, represent what the actual Magic community looks like in its entirety. And uh, you know, it sucks because our channel did get hit with some racism recently, and we've been having to, battle that. And obviously every creator, whatever they are, is going to get hit with something because we're putting ourselves out there. So but I think that again goes back to us as content creators, being our role models that we have to be, and continue to demystify people on who we are. So Joe and I are we're not going anywhere. We're gonna keep putting out the content. They can find us at I Hate Your Deck on YouTube. It's on Twitter. It's at hate_your_deck. At Instagram, we got to have the I, so it's I_hate_your_deck. Yeah, man. When you have a hate in your title, it's weird how like Facebook has to be like IH your deck. Like same thing with Twitch, because they're like, you're a hate. It's like, we're not a hate. We're actually about a lot of love. It's just a joke. But that was kind of the irritating thing, is like, when there's certain like hate speech happening on your walls, and you're like, well, how come YouTube is letting this happen week in and week out? And isn't, sorry to get off topic, but it's like,
No, it makes sense, and it's important to talk about.
it's just interesting when it's like this person is repeatedly using the N word. Why are they still allowed to post on our wall when we've been reporting it for 2 weeks? Like, why is this person not banned? And at least making them do another work to build another account.
Right?
You know, like I shouldn't be seeing it from the same account. That was kind of the thing that was like, because I try to, I don't want Joe to see it all the time. I try to delete it because it's a human being, man, and he shouldn't have to deal with that stuff. Um, and there's people who said, get your politics out of entertainment, and it's like, dude, that's his life.
Right? I mean, we're
Black
playing
Lives
we're playing
Matter.
game.
There's like nothing political about like him saying My life matters. I don't want to be another hashtag, you know,
For sure.
period. And you got these people saying they're a terrorist organization, and it's like, why are you saying these like Fox News bullet points? Like, get out of here with that.
I
So it's
think Magic's just gonna get more brown, more black, more queer. It's just gonna we're pushing bad voices out.
yeah, that's when we posted. We're gonna get brown or queer on our thing. But I think that's exactly the truth, and that's what I mean by, you know, um, one of Shane, who was on our bonus episode one, has since transitioned to Eiley. Since then. And I remember at the time I'd asked about the name change so I could, be courteous at the time. But the time name change hadn't happened when we aired it. But the name change has now happened. But like I'm really excited for her that, she finally felt comfortable, telling all of us and is going through, change the procedure, which is it's a big deal for people, man.
For sure.
you know so it's and there was only one negative comment that came against her in our things where someone tried to like say something negative, and I was glad that more people didn't come out, just because again for like her, like I don't need, it it's something I feel a lot of people don't understand about content creators, is how vulnerable we have to be to put ourselves out there, because even if we do something stupid or whatever, someone's gonna be like, I don't like you, Lynch, because you got a beard, or I don't like you that you do this, or why does your lifestyle have to be different than mine, or why do you virtual signaling because you're siding with Joe and the Black Lives Matter. It's like, well, I've actually had the experience of being a white person living in Michigan, having a lot of black friends, and seeing the inequality firsthand. And I've seen the inequality, how people have been treated across this world, because I travel for work. So it's like I get to feel lucky that I've had this, so I don't have to be ignorant like some of these people. And as Joe and I've said, like we don't need the subscribers or the likes from the people that are going to be that fully ignorant. Either they can stay and hear what they say and hopefully have some empathy and learn, or like, cool, man. We're not. They're not paying us to make the content, so we're going to keep pushing the positive stuff, and 'cause that's what I feel this community needs, and so does Joe. Positive people playing the game, as you said it, brown or queer, you know, all the above, and just love going around. And I think that's a big thing that Magic, when you talk about the positivity of Magic, I was talking to a friend of mine who's doing a documentary about, about trans people and some other things going on. And I said, there's a huge trans population in Magic the Gathering. And, they were like, well, it must be because of how welcoming that community is. Um, so again, it goes into the community that we've been talking about all night and the social aspect of that. Like, there has to be a reason why all of us human beings enjoy this game that gets to bring us together, where we get to, pretend to be wizards for a little bit, sling some spells for a little bit, and be stupid and have a good time. And it kind of ties everything we've been talking about together. Like that's what I think is really special, because it's like, I don't know how many other sports, other entities can kind of say they have that many people who are outspoken. I mean, look at the professor. The professor like raised what, like almost $500,000 for Trans for Life. It's pretty impressive. A lot of people I don't know would. I don't know too many other organizations I see doing that.
Yeah, just so much good like fundraising in Commander. I've been kind of surprised to see
Yeah,
just for
yeah,
important
yeah,
shit.
like mental misplay. I know does a lot of fundraising as well for Magic and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I think it's so. Was it the Commander Mechanic? and CNC Power Hour. Just I was part of something where we did a fundraiser for them for Magic for Kids.
Yeah.
So it's I think that's great.
I think there's so much money that used to be spent on additional Magic cards is being spent on like more real life issues now by players since the LGSs are significantly more shut down.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what continues to happen moving forward. You know, with everything. Like I know that I'll always still now play webcam, because it's like I get to play with people from all over the world now. I'll once I feel safe. I am double vaccinated, but I'm traveling a lot. But and I got a kid. But between all that, once I feel safe going to the LGS, and I might do that versus just having people at the home right now.
Yeah,
That are vaxxed. But it's dude, we are in a new world,
for sure.
and it's opened up a lot to see how we're going to continue. Like, is there going to be a Magic Fest soon?
That's a good question. Is the Magic Fest going to be online at some point?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting questions that are going to happen because the Magic Fest was like the new GPs.
Yeah.
It's like, is that happening?
Well, fingers crossed that things stay good and just get better moving forward.
I hope so. I think we're moving to some normalcy with the vaccine getting out there.
Fingers crossed. Well, Michael, it's been lovely having you on, and it's been lovely having everybody who's going to eventually watch this be watching this. I love y'all. It's good having you on here, and I wish
Thanks.
everybody a good night.
Yeah, everyone have a great night.